Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching this. So, it is coming to the end of 2021. We've had another year, just another year go by. Obviously, still under all this pandemic stuff. Woo. So, I just wanted to do a bit of what have I achieved this year? I think a lot of people, including myself, they deem achievement as big successful job, lots of money coming in, cars, all that kind of stuff. And actually, for a start, achievements are different for everyone. Like something that's an achievement for you will be different to someone else. And achievements can be something really small to something really big. Here it is. This is what I achieved in 2021. So I have been like very low key trying to just teach myself piano, very in like small doses. Obviously teaching yourself stuff is really difficult, and piano is like one of the hardest instruments in the world. So I've just been like dabbling with it, and I actually feel like I've gotten better at it. So that is definitely a major achievement that I want to carry into next year. In 2021, I got a couple of new tattoos. This little smiley face I actually got at the end of 2020, but it wasn't finished until we were able to come back in 2021 because all the lockdown stuff happened again, so it needed like retouch because it's got some yellow in it, so got that one. And then my favourite tattoos now like on my body is this DeLorean, which is obviously from one of my favourite movies in this entire earth, Back to the Future. So really buzzing that I managed to get my new tattoos. This year I've done a lot of songwriting, some very bad, but some good, and a lot unfinished, but that's okay as well. I managed to get a lot of different lyrics down, start a couple of different rhythms and background tracks and stuff, so that's been really good as well. So that leading on to, I released my own song, my very first original song into the world, which was really scary but really cool because it's now had a lot of streams, well, to me a lot of streams, a few thousand streams on Spotify all over the world, so that is pretty cool, and a lot of people have said that they like it. So see, even if just one person outside of my family say that they like my song and my music, then that's a major achievement for me. And yeah, it's nice when people actually say, this thing that you're putting out, I like it. I know I've not put out anything else. I did that one song, but this year I'm determined to just get the stuff out there in whatever way I can and see what happens, because you never know. And just to make music, like making music's one of my favourite things to do, so we'll see next year this video if I've achieved putting out any more. I managed to get to my first gig in like over 2 years basically, which was really cool. I did a video on it. I went to McFly a couple months ago. That was a big achievement because I had so many gigs and concerts and shows booked for 2020, and they all got cancelled, which was really devastating. Like everyone that loves going to concerts and stuff, you just can't explain the feeling. You can't explain the emotion going to a concert. I just love it, and for them all to be cancelled is just gutting. But then obviously I thought, okay, they're cancelled or rescheduled, this won't go on forever, and it's been going on forever, so they kept getting rescheduled, and I managed to make it back to one. The rest are still ongoing, getting rescheduled, but actually getting back to that kind of just instilled a bit of hope in me that we're all gonna get through this, and things are gonna get back to normal, and just getting back to live music, just it takes you out of reality and puts you into another world for just that kind of 2 hour period. Yeah, that was a big achievement. And the other side of that is actually getting to the venue and stuff going. This will resonate with a lot of people. It is actually really scary just going outside now. I actually put my ticket up for resale because I was like, I can't go to this. I've just been in my room by myself, one person for over a year, so I can't just go from one person to being in a room with 10,000 people. But I managed to convince myself, no, come on, we're going, like this will be really good for you, and I'm so glad I did. So that was a massive achievement as well. I obviously love doing covers, as I've said, and I did a cover from one of my favourite musical artists in the world, Dayglow. This was a big achievement for me, even though it won't be for other people. But I put it up there on YouTube and stuff. I put it on my Instagram, and Dayglow, I'm hoping it was Sloan himself, but Dayglow liked it on Instagram, like my story. I'll maybe put that here in case you don't believe me, but yeah, I put up my story and they liked it. He liked it. that was a big achievement for me because I feel seen. I feel like that's my approval. Oh yes, that was very good, Lindsay. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So big achievement. This was actually a recent achievement. The other day, folks, I tried sushi and didn't hate it. It was actually really nice. Not saying I'm going to be a sushi lover. That was a big achievement for me because I'm really bad for just sticking to what I know. I'm not good at, change and going into new things. And trying new foods and stuff is just a massive fear of mine and just a big kind of no-no. So actually trying some new food the other day was a massive achievement for me. And one of the biggest things to happen to me this year was I was signed by a creative talent agency over in LA, which is like mind-blowing. Yeah, so that was pretty cool. Massive achievement. Finally something's coming of all this YouTube stuff and singing and playing and all that kind of hard work that I'm putting into that. So that was awesome, and I've been, doing some work behind the scenes with them, which hopefully it will all start to unravel and things will start going in a good direction, and I'm really buzzing about that. I can't say too much more, but that was just a major achievement for me this year and something that I will never forget. This year I feel like I've actually gotten to know myself a little bit more. Obviously under the current circumstances we have had a lot of time to ourselves, so you can get a lot of self-reflection done in that kind of situation, and I did a lot of that and it felt really good. And yeah, I know myself a little bit better than I first did at the beginning of this year. Yeah, they're very personal and private, so currently they're just for my own self. But hopefully I will have the courage to start revealing my true self to everyone. And yeah, that'll be another achievement to add to the list. I started off this year with connections to people, and I'm ending this year without those connections. And although at the time for some of them it was really hard and difficult having that connection end, here where I'm sitting now, I'm in such a better place without these connections. It puts into perspective how having the wrong types of people around you can affect you, because it really can. So that's interesting. It's something that I didn't think would happen, ending the year without certain people in my life. But the way I handled it at the time is the big achievement, because for years, like most of my life, 20 years, I was a yes person. Yes to everything, yes to everybody. I didn't take into consideration my own feelings about things, my own needs. And eventually that caught up with me, because you can't live your life like that for other people and pleasing other people and, not thinking of yourself every once in a while. So I have been learning to put myself first, as hard as that is, because it is hard. And I've been learning techniques to deal with things and things like that. So the time came unexpectedly when I had to use those skills, and I used them. And I'm extremely proud of myself how I dealt with situations, and I would have never ever imagined myself being able to cope with it, and I did. I've come out a better person, and I'm really happy about that, and that is a major achievement. This only happened this month in December. I do have a TikTok that I barely used, and I see obviously all these amazing people and creators creating cool videos, and I've always wanted to do it, but I've always been too nervous. But I started creating some silly videos to do with me opening my stationery advent calendar, and they've now got thousands of views on them. Of all the videos that take off, it's always sometimes the silliest ones. Literally just me opening my calendar. You won't even see me in them. They've got hundreds upon hundreds of likes and comments, and now like the best one has got it's on 36,000 views. And obviously there's loads of TikToks that have millions of views, but for someone who is not at all like anything on TikTok, that number is pretty decent for me, pretty mind-blowing. So that has been an achievement of mine, to actually face some fears and just go, you know what, let's just put the content out there. If I want to do it, if I want to make the videos, let's just do it. And the achievement of actually getting some views on them. I've said in a few other videos that I have a spending habit, and it became worse than a habit, more like a problem. And I know this, I can admit it to myself. Emotional spending is a thing. This year, I actually managed to save some money, and that is massive. For someone like me, I just got into a rut of I would get paid on Fridays, I get paid weekly, so I'd get paid on a Friday, and by the time Saturday came, I would have next to no money left. Yeah, admitting that to other people, I have not even admitted that to my therapist yet, so if he watches this video, sorry. And that is actually a good step in the right direction to start with, so I'm admitting that to myself, that that was not a good cycle. So a few months ago I went, for a while, a couple of months, where I only bought essentials, so petrol for my car, foods, that kind of thing. I literally just I didn't buy anything that I didn't need, and it was refreshing. It was hard, but at the other side of it, I was better off. I'm not saying that you shouldn't spend and you can't spend, especially when life's for living, but when it gets to a point where you're actually doing more damage to yourself than good, that's when it becomes a problem. So I acknowledge my problem, and I have kind of dealt with it a little bit. It can be explored more, and I will work on it more, but I felt really, really proud of myself for doing that. I was saying to my mum, I was like, there's not been any packages come here, has there? Like, I feel so good about myself. Sorry to all those companies that get my money every week. No more. I think lastly, I mean, there's probably other things, but these are the main things I can think about that are achievements this year. This year, weirdly, I've started to enjoy my job, which is strange and something I didn't anticipate happening. When you're in a job that you know is not going to be your career, like what I'm in right now, it's unlikely. I think more likely than not that you're not going to enjoy it, or you just know that you're just putting in the work and the time to get the money to then hopefully find that other thing that you actually want to wake up for and go to work. You want to be at work. So actually finding a little bit of enjoyment in the job that I know is not going to be my career, I know it's just a temporary thing, is pretty cool. The job that I'm in, December is the busiest time of year for a lot of places, but this is like nuts, crazy busy. I took on some extra hours of starting at 6:30 in the morning, and I normally start at 8:30. I know that there are people that will be starting far earlier than myself, but for me, that's a big deal. So yeah, getting up at 5:30 every morning to start my day to get there at 6:30. Before it happened, I was like, am I gonna manage this? Because it's weird. I've kind of shifted. I've become a different person, which has been hard to deal with, because in school I woke up at 14 minutes past 7 every morning. I would get in the shower for 22 minutes. It would take me 6 minutes to get ready and get dressed, things like that. I was really organised, really on point, never late. This last year I just found myself in a scenario where I just didn't want to leave the house. Yeah, I just didn't want to do anything. Things just escalated this year where I just couldn't manage it. I couldn't get myself going, especially in the mornings. So I would be late for work a lot, which I hated, but I couldn't change. So instead of getting there at 8:30, I'd be walking in the door at 8:45, which isn't like late, but it's not right. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to continue with that. I couldn't kick myself into gear. So when I took on these extra hours, something changed in me that I was like, right, I need to be there, and I'm being relied on. I need to be there, and it has really just, something's clicked in my head. And yeah, I was getting there for 6:20. I was there on the ball, ready to go, and that was at a much earlier time in the morning. I'm not a morning person, I will hold my hands up. Yeah, and I managed it. That was probably one of my biggest achievements of 2021, and I'm hoping to continue on that streak and not kind of fall back into the rut that I was in. I think that's possibly all my achievements. There's probably been others that I haven't actually even realised, but the main thing is, it doesn't matter what it is. If it's important to you, if you're proud of yourself for it, if it's an achievement to you, it's an achievement to you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I'm excited to see what 2022 will bring. If you're watching this, we have all got a major achievement in common, and that is that we have made it to the end of 2021, another year under the circumstances of this pandemic. So well done. I'm telling you, well done for making it through it. And hopefully 2022 will bring us something better. What is it that you've achieved this year? I really want to know. Tell me down in the comments and I will read all of them. I cannot wait to hear them. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff. And I will see you at the next video next year. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!